Second image. What about, let's say we might have some wealth goals. You might scroll down here and say, there's a big pile of money. I think that might come in useful. And finally, I might just show you the graphics category, which is just basically a bunch of tiles which look really cool to put text on. I might drag and drop that onto the timeline there. Now we can continue adding as many pictures as we like. The timeline will continue to expand, and you can even use this insert button to put them back in the middle of the timeline. But for the sake of brevity, I'm just going to use the 3 pictures today. So let's click on the Affirmations tab and see what we've got. We can scroll down here and I can see I walked to the top of the Eiffel Tower. Drag and drop that on the timeline. You see the little T arrives letting you know you've got some text. What about business and career? Now, everything I touch is a success. I'll drag and drop that onto the timeline. And just so I can show you how to customize text, I'll click on the customize text. And here we'll type, My Movies 2.0 is awesome. Go ahead and click Save. Now My Movies will randomly assign different transitions for you in between each image, but we have a library of categorized transitions for you. So you can just click on the category, roll over one, see what it looks like. If you like the look of it, drag and drop it into the timeline. Go ahead and look at music. Now you can upload your own music, but if you want, we've got a library of music you can choose from here. I particularly like The Prophet Sits in the Sun, so I could test that now, but I'm just going to apply because I know what it sounds like. And in just a few moments, look at what we've created. And there you have it. It's as simple as clicking Save Video, typing in a title, and in just a matter of moments, you have created an incredible looking Mind movie. And I just wondered if you would just share with me your thoughts about what we've created and if it's something that everybody can do.
Well, first and foremost, I was one of those people that when you guys launched Mind Movies was wondering how hard is this going to be, all right? And I'm a person that if it involves technology, I get somebody else to do it.
Yeah.
So the only thing I like to do is create an email and hit send. That's my abilities on technology. What I loved about what you did with Mind Movies 2 is you made, I'm not going to say idiot-proof, you made it John-proof, which means I can use it. And it's plug and play, which is really easy. So I understand, the first batch of Mind Movies was great and involved a little bit more technical abilities. What you've done with Mind Movies 2 is really just made it, a 6-year-old could do it. And it makes it so easy to, pick the image, pick the music, hit click, you got your movie. And that was, that's why I'm sitting here doing this. I wouldn't give my endorsement to your product unless I really believed it was easy for people to use. And so I'll be helping my audience and my people that follow some of the work that I do introduce them to Mind Movies too, because I know they'll be able to use it. And if they use it the way you guys teach them to and the way I teach them to, then they're going to get some incredible benefits out of it. But the idea is make it simple, and you made it simple.
Oh man, it's exciting. I can't wait. I want one of the first ones, really, to be able to create this kind of a product because it's programming your mind in a positive way. And most of us live this reactionary life. We're just bombarded by the negative images from the mainstream news, from TV, from the internet. If you're not selective about what you're watching, you're being programmed in this negative, scarcity, victim consciousness kind of way. But here's your chance to choose how you want to feel, to choose what goes into your head. And I've always said that repetition and emotion are the two most powerful ways to change yourself on that internal unconscious level where the power center is. And when you're doing it with music and imagery and affirmations that you choose, and then you have it all put together in this wonderful, hypnotic, in a very positive way, thing that you get to watch and absorb as much as you want. And of course, you told me about the subliminal version of it. This is the coolest thing I've come across in the longest time. When it comes for personal transformation and making it easy, this is it.
We spent
I'm excited.
we spent a lot of time trying to make it super simple so that literally anybody could do it, because we know we have some customers who really all they use the internet for is maybe to check out some email and maybe look at a few web pages. But to turn them into video editors and empower them in that way was very, very challenging. But I think we've come up with something super, super simple.
Well, from what I saw, it's beyond simple, because it's about as a no-brainer experience as you can get. You gave me a 1-minute tutorial, but I could see by looking over your shoulders, like, I didn't even need that.
Yeah.
I saw what step 1 was, step 2, step 3, step 4, and I'm done.
Yeah.
And I think I would have been done in, depending on how much time I spent picking the photos and music, I would have been done in a couple of minutes.
And did you think we've achieved that goal, that it's super simple for everybody?
Yeah. Listen, I'm not technically very brilliant. Like, I'm one of the guys you're talking about. You understand how to send a text, email, and I don't really want to spend the time getting in all the rest, but I see where I could make a movie like that, and will, just like that.
A little while back, we created a subliminal tool, which once you have your Mind movie, all the pre-made Mind movies that we give away, you can use this subliminal tool to use it on your computer. So whilst you're using your computer, without it interrupting your work, you can watch your Mind movie or the pre-made Mind movies all day, every day, and it's making an impression on your mind, but you're not consciously aware of it. Can you explain why that works? If that works, does it work? Was it just a cool, fun toy I made that doesn't really work, or how does it work?
Well, there's been a lot of discussions on subliminal softwares and subliminal messaging for many, many years, and that has been banned by the U.S. government for unfair practices. If you think about the brain again, I'm just going to take you to the neuroscience side of it again. Every nanosecond, every second of every day, we're receiving billions of pieces of information from what you hear, what you smell, what you see, what you taste, what you touch. So our brain is deciphering so much information all the time. Some we're aware of, some we're not aware of. And what our brain does is deletes or distorts the information that isn't highly urgent to us, can cause fear or anxiety in us because it's dangerous for us. But when you think about subliminal, it basically says beneath the awareness of your consciousness, or beneath conscious awareness. And so if you think about, is that message getting through? The answer is yes, the message is getting through. Is that message being used? In some cases, it's being used. You have access to that information at will when you want to call upon it, because your brain remembers absolutely everything. And so if you put somebody in a hypnotic state and you ask them specific details of what happened, let's say during a car accident, if you ask them what happened, in an environment that they were in, that they maybe weren't paying attention to something that was happening 20 feet to the left or to the right, how is it that they can remember all that stuff? Well, they picked up all of that information subliminally. So they were aware of it, but they weren't consciously aware of it.
Right.
So first and foremost, I've been using subliminal software myself for probably 10, 11 years, 12 years now. And so do they work? I personally believe they absolutely work. And I also believe that when you instruct your brain to pay attention to the messages that you are asking it to remember, and you make that important, now you're giving your brain, see, your brain can't think without you.
Yeah.
Albert Einstein's brain is sitting in a jar right now in a laboratory, but Albert's not with it. So you can actually get your brain, you can teach your brain to do things for you that we never knew we could do before. So when you use subliminals, tell your brain whatever images you see that I'm okay, that's coming beneath my level of consciousness, I accept. Now subliminals really work. And so you could program whatever